And there we go, we're live. So, during the break, I logged in a couple times and I used my loyalty points to pick up some RC, which I used to obtain a resource that we needed more than anything else, which was backpacks. So now I've got plenty of backpacks. No more inventory problems. Anyway, for today, now that we don't have any issues with inventory space anymore, I've only got 3 hours and I'm hoping to get through 3 to 4 maps. Not sure how viable that's going to be. But Starstruck doesn't have a dungeon. And the one right after Starstruck... No, it's a bit long. We'll see. Gonna use... I don't have any. Hold on, where is my... Gonna use a proof of mission. It doesn't make sense not to, and I guess if I'm going for 3 hours, I'll need 3. Oh, and another change from last time was I switched over to using the sniper set. No matter how you go about it, you're not going to be able to max out your speed when you're using the Gaia set that they give you that levels up with you, so I decided that it made more sense to switch over to sniper. I'm a Ravager! That's the big X class. I answered in chat because I know the video is a little bit behind. Bread again. I feel like every time I start a stream you come in here and you post a picture of bread. And that's why I picked Ravager. I thought that the fire bouncing would help me get through the quest faster. I love it. Ravager is a good class. It's definitely not on the top of anyone's list for the best class in the game, but I personally picked it because I think that it has the best range in terms of how the fire skill bounces off of everybody. You can see I use it once and it gathers up all of these mobs. So in dungeons, it's really easy to get all of the mobs aggroed on you to take them out. If you're looking for, like, the best classes, most people think that... Well, with the new balances, I've got people saying that it's Wizard's time to shine, and Wizard is one of the best classes in the game now, but typically stuff like the Chibi class, the Starcaller, Lance is still pretty high up there. A lot of people think Source is one of the top classes. Ravager did get buffed, though. Well, speaking of things that changed, I read... Oh, they fixed it! Yay! They fixed the pick your 100 buff item thing. There we go, and now I can use this, which they've added a move speed buff to. See that? One skill and the entire quest is complete because it bounced off enough enemies and killed them all. Oh, see, when they changed the quest rewards, they made it so that when you complete the Rain Mist Reach, I guess it's actually just before the dungeon for Rain Mist Reach, they changed one of the quest rewards to give you a box that'll give you 100 buff items. That's the ones that you can buy from the general store. So yeah, it is only for new players. But, I mean, it was broken for the last couple weeks, so glad they fixed it. Yeah, they did change a lot of the quests. You'll also see that I've got this 15th level fortified transfer scroll. This was added to the end of... what was the other one? The one you do right after Rain Mist Reach. Yeah, part of the reason why I started this in the first place was because when I was doing my Stellar Sphere, I realized that they changed a lot of things and I wanted to see how it felt playing as an absolutely new player. We're getting a pretty decent amount of experience per quest right now, too. and I did mention a couple things that I did between this stream and the last one, though obviously I didn't progress any of the main quest. I got this nice little Mochi Bunny Hat, and I stuck some enchantment cards on my body and hat, because those are the most important too. It's all stuff that you can get with dragon points, and they feed you a ton of dragon points in the new player present packs now. But I mean, look at that bunny. Or not. Sound problem? I actually was a little bit late getting started today because I didn't start making my coffee early enough. So I didn't get to do a sound check like I normally do, so let me know if there's any issues with the audio. I mean, I could have skipped making a coffee to do a proper sound check, but that wouldn't be like me. One drawback to Flame Slash is that when you want to not be in combat, you have to make sure you don't use it. Oh, my food wore off too. And I don't have any more handy. I just love watching that. This entire stream could be renamed Midday Falls in Love with Flame Slash again, again, again. And it would be an accurate name. For sure! And you wouldn't even think of the Ravager as being an AoE class. I think they rate it pretty lowly when you're picking your original class. Because when it was originally designed, the flame slash function wasn't there. Let's see. Ravager. Oh no, they still call it AoE because it's got the whirlwind slash, the round and round, but I'm not adding a third coffee to the table today, Lyra. This map's sure got a lot of slow ones. And this quest is RNG whether or not you even spawn the enemy that you want. Oh, I guess, sorry, I was wrong. This one is the one where you don't want it to spawn the enemy. There we go. I am in a guild. It's one that my friend made as a joke. The Midday Simp Club. It's not a really functioning guild. It's only level 3. So if you're starting out, I would recommend joining a guild that's actually got some people that aren't just goofing around with alts. Hey, I hit 75. Hey, are you a member then, if you think it's the best guild? I don't think so. I would like to get it to level, I guess level 4? Yeah, because level 4 is when you get the guild hall. Then if I want to actually do stuff like in the, like for crafting, it's more convenient to do that in the guild hall. Oh, right, this is my last envoy spot. I know I'm fighting in the background, but... Hey, whatever, we'll take this one. I don't think this is an ideal envoy, but it's the envoy that I made. Oh, you've heard of it, have you? Only good news, I'm sure. Okay, I could probably... Oh, I should grab food while I'm here, but I'm also going to equip these last 2 backpacks, so now we've got a page 2. I don't think we'll have any issues with backpack space for a while, so I could probably just carry my food with me. You know, someone commented on my last video about how bad my inventory was. Oh, I don't think it was the last one, but the news update one. Someone said my inventory was bad. Oh, I think it'll take a little more than a couple hours. And I've only got, I guess, 2.5 hours left today because I've got something planned for 4 o'clock. Sorry, that's 6 o'clock? 7 o'clock Aura Kingdom time. I've got something planned that I have to take care of. But also, I'm expecting to run into a hurdle once we get to the level 80 dungeons, at the very least. That's where I'm expecting the first hurdle to be. Oh, there's someone else here. Goodness, why aren't they dropping me anymore? Oh, it's these assassin guys, that's why I'm fighting the wrong mob. There we go. Alright, and now we turn to arson once again. Hello! Let's see, your name is very small. Kaminina? Thanks for joining us. I'm still at the point where I'm not hitting any obstacles, so yes, I'm still having fun at this point. I hope it continues. I really hope that it's not going to be too much of a wall once we start hitting 80. I've got 2 screens, so the chat is way on the far side of the second screen. I should make the font size larger so that I can read it without squinting. You know, I've always thought it was kind of weird that they didn't release Mia's costume for playable characters. In fact, I kind of wish that they released more NPC costumes and not just having them tag along with you as contracts. But if I remember correctly, we're actually about to see Mia in this cutscene. Well, this event scene. If I could pick an NPC that I would want a contract of, I think I'd pick Arliss? The guy that protects the seal on the holy sword in what's the dungeon called? Twilight Forest? I think I got that name wrong. Anyway, Arliss is the dude from Desolate Valley, who's my favorite. I don't think there's an Arliss contract either. Nice little screen cap of me and Mia. This is the official US server, so good chances. You can probably tell from my setup my favorite eidolon too, so... Oh, I've seen you around, for sure! You know, I was chatting with a friend, and he actually just sent me a video of them completing the Awakening as a wizard with absolutely no gear, because the wizard has been buffed so much. Yeah, it's a little obvious, huh? But yeah, apparently Wizard's era is now. They're trying to convince me that Wizard is the best class in the game right now. I'm not sure I entirely believe it, but for sure the buff was quite impressive. I think we're high enough level. Oh yeah, I heard that they increased the speed of the projectiles. I didn't realize it was now basically instant. As a warbow main, I feel that because one of the main issues that I have on warbow is that by the time I finish charging an attack, everything is dead. Oh, they removed the charge from Meteor entirely? That was on one of the paths, right? The Meteor charge was just on the fire path? You can see the wizard that I have on my main account in the October news update that I did, but you can probably tell from the way that she looks, actually. You can probably tell she's a ice wizard. I was playing ice before. I hear that fire is now better, but I don't know, there's something about the aesthetic of ice. Yeah, I hear that Fire Path is better nowadays, but, I converted the, Snow Hill staff? Oh, you too, huh? I converted the Snow Hill staff. What level is that? I think it's, 108, so it's one of the blue drops that you can get. Pretty sure it's from dungeons? Oh no, they sell it at NPCs. But yeah, I used the weapon conversion scroll on it because I wanted the perfect ice aesthetic wizard, and well, there's surprisingly not very many costumes for wizard that really fit the ice aesthetic. I don't think you can even preview the Snow Hill staff in your... Whoa. W's. Oh, that reminds me though. I don't think I can preview the Snow Hill staff in here. Yeah, no, it doesn't exist in there because you can't get it with DP. But if you preview a weapon that's got the glow effect on it, and then go into your encyclopedia and start previewing the weapons in there, it'll maintain the glow effect. So you can see what things look like before you upgrade them. I'd need to have a weapon with glow to preview, and I don't have that right now, so I can't actually show you guys, but that's a tip for any new players. I think most old players are aware of that one. I suppose I could fort up this weapon a little bit more. I'll probably be using a little bit longer. Oh, I messed up my windows. Alright, well that's the end of this map. So again, we're looking at about 45 minutes. That seems to be consistent. Though I think Port Morton is shorter. Andrea's staff, that's the one with like... Oh, I guess it could be a weapon. Ah. Oh, right, the search here you have to be really specific about it. Andrea's staff. Oh, it can't be that old. I guess this one's kind of pretty for an Ice Whiz. I think I scrolled too far. There it is, there it is. That is a really nice one too. You can use it on Rav. Just whack things with an ice staff. Skip. So yeah, even without a dungeon, that one still took 45 minutes. This is about the end of the map. And we're actually 2 levels above, so I'm starting to think that we're gonna start needing to grind. And goodbye, Kaminina. Thanks for joining. just glad somebody's watching them. I started making them just for fun, but... Oh shoot, he was still in Starstruck Plateau. I thought he was back at the... Loading screens are the perfect time to take a coffee break. Oh, it just sends you straight to Silent Icefield, that's right. Alright, I'm gonna pop another proof of mission now. I think it's really going to be a key point for new players to keep their proof of missions active while they're questing. You get plenty of them. I think I've got 20 or so left in my warehouse. Hello, Barry. Hey, these guys are really tougher. It's gonna take more than one bounce. Okay, so now that we're 77, it's about time to start betting on how many levels I think we'll be able to get today. We still have 2¼ hours, so I'm thinking 80 should be doable. Especially with the amount of experience we're getting per quest here. I think 80 is very reasonable. Quick eavesdrop and take a sip of coffee. If I was a little better at this VTube thing, I would have made an animation for that. Oh, you're newbie too! If you're at level 58, then you're probably still working on the Main quest, yeah. If you want to level up, focusing on the main quest is definitely the way to go. However, I found that by doing basically strictly the main quest, I don't have any eidolons except the one that I got free, Shirayuki. And she's pretty good. All things considered, she's pretty good for getting her for free. But yeah, by progressing the main quest, you're not going to get any more eidolons. You're going to need to do the Temple of Eidolons. You're going to need to run the Otherworld dungeons that spawn them. I don't know that you have those unlocked yet at level 50 though. So, main quest to level up, and running around other areas looking for eidolons if you want to get your hands on new eidolons. And right now, I'm not sure how important it's going to be for Awakening to get more. It depends what the other world you're doing. So in Kaktakara, let's see if I can get the map open. Oh, not right now. Yeah, you might need to level up a little bit more. I was able to solo the first two zones with this character yesterday. I was doing them. If we have some time today, I'll take a moment to run through. Oh, hello, Abby. But yeah, the other worlds I'm talking about are the ones in Kaktakara, hidden behind the poison smog. Every time you beat one of the larger mobs, because it's those dungeons where everything inside is all the same mob. Every time you beat one of the larger ones, there's a chance for a random eidolon to spawn, and it's only the like not super high-end eidolons, but for new players, it's how you're going to be able to get your hands on some of those guys a little faster. And, of course, if you're doing your daily logins, I would actually recommend at the beginning using your loyalty points for one of the starter eidolons, or one of the easier to get eidolons that'll help you. So personally, I'm thinking Eligos is probably the one that I'm going to want to get first with LP. Because Eligos has accuracy, as well as damage support. And accuracy is one of the things people have difficulty with when they're leveling up, especially when they're going through Awakening. Actually, yeah, once we finish this map, I'll take a quick run through Otherworld Port Scandia. When I did it last time, I didn't get any spawns, but when I did it off of stream, I got a spawn basically every single time. Which is just how it goes, I'm sure. Oh, cutscene! That means I get to have more coffee! Oh, we have points to allocate. Yes, I did actually rig my character myself. I'm not very good at it though, so it's not a lot of points of articulation. So I took a screenshot from the game actually, and then I redrew it into a bunch of layers, and I had to change a couple things, like the original screenshot had a head accessory on that I took off, or that when I redrew it I didn't put the head accessory in. But yeah, so it's not very good, but it's the best that I could do with the free trial of live 2D cubism. And in case you're curious, it's based off of the archaeology costume, which you can get for 100,000. Dragon points. Where is it? This one. Oop, I'm about to die. On my main character, this is my main costume. Gosh, I am so tempted to actually spend all these dragon points on getting this costume on this character as well, just because it's so cute. I know it's a bad choice though. I should be saving my dragon points for masteries. Which is, I think, the reason why they load you up with a bunch of free dragon points now, when you first start. Not doing bad for masteries though. I did actually upgrade everything, oh, except this one to orange. Ooh, I probably should be careful not to use 5 Flame Slash around here because Harmonia is not someone that I'm going to be able to take on. See that little 5 up there? It might be too blurry. On her panel up here for the boss, there's a little 5. That means she's got 5 life bars. I mean, plus she's level 110. The dark red means it's past 100. Anyway. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not going to be able to beat that. And if I'm not careful, she can actually trap you in a cage. I don't think it's as bad as Karis' cage, but you can get kind of stuck. And then I'd have to just, like, call out for help. Oh, no, no, no. Not a chance. I can on main, and you get a cute little cutscene afterwards if you do. Oh, right, my accuracy, 1 point. Okay, so one of the things that was added a little while back that basically nobody uses is a battle progress menu. So it'll tell you basically your damage stats. If I remember correctly, the suffixes here for how much were off, and I don't remember how much. But let's see how much damage I can do with my world-class Flame Slash. 0? That was even worse than I thought. Oh. Oh, it doesn't matter. I was too weak to even get caged. I just got 1 shot. Yeah, anyway, I'll just close that there. Yeah, Kara's cage I know you can get out of it, but I've never played too much around with Harmonia on a melee character. It's fine, there's no death penalty in this game, so I can easily challenge things that are out of my comfort level without any... Right after I said that I couldn't use Flame Slash around Harmonia. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, I could have taken her. Do it one more time. Oh wow, I'm doing triple-digit damage! That's impressive, I wasn't actually expecting to even do more than 10. Can't even see a single pixel out of her HP though. And she got me anyway. I'm sorry to say, but I'm not gonna put soloing Harmonia on my list of objectives on this account. I think she's far enough away from the mobs that I can use Flame Slash. Probably not, but we got away with it this time. Oh yes, I've seen. I actually used it earlier today, and now actually I've got I should have 99 of those Rock of the Great Lands, which I should use again because they grant move speed buff. I saw in the patch notes they said they fixed some stuff in boxes, so I assumed it would be that one. Nope, I jumped into the ground. Bard actually did get a buff, sort of, a while back. Originally, Bard was just 10% regardless of whether or not you were main or sub. So Bard's got 15% if you use it as your main buff. Although, yeah, I kind of agree that Bard should get a little bit more since they added 10% move speed to basically, like... Well, not everybody's, but they added 10% move speed to a bunch of buffs. Although, if you're going to talk about buffing classes, I think Warbow deserves a buff, and not just because I'm a Warbow main. I mean, I am a Warbow main, but... I'm not sure what you mean by TOE offhand. They buffed a bunch of the drops in a whole bunch of the dungeons, but especially the lower ones. And the solo mode Gaia, the very first one you unlock, the LP drops have been significantly increased. Oh, Temple of Eidolons? That's probably what you meant. Yeah, the Temple of Eidolons that you can do free at, or you can do 4 times a day. Yeah, you know, all the classes that have vaguely similar shaped weapons get to all share a bunch of costume weapons. Oh, yeah, they did buff the drops in the Temple of Eidolon. Sorry, I don't go there very often. I forgot what it was called. I have been going on this account though, and I did do it right before the stream started just to get it over with, get it out of the way. Yeah, the three chest mode can be done 4 times a day. It resets on the 6-hour marks. Now, if only they buffed the key drop right there. cracking my neck. I guess we'll be detouring a little bit after this map. I think we're making good progress though, so 3 maps is still going to be completely doable in our 3-hour window. Still tempted to buy that costume, but alright, so we got 12% defense down, 10% defense down, plus how much from the mastery? So percentage reduction for defense caps out at 50%, I believe. I don't think I'm quite at cap yet. Yeah, so 20, 30, 42. Oh, for Shirayuki, she's got Gentle Snowfall that'll heal you on use. That's that really big one. This one, the big flashy one, that heals you. So, on all the new eidolons, their third skill is their non-target one, like their buff skill. But on some of the older ones, they do have 2 skills that are attacks and 1 skill that is a buff, but it might not be in the same order. So for Shirayuki, her buff skill is in the second one instead of the third one. But at a certain point they decided that they wanted to simplify it and make everything the same, so for all the newer eidolons, the first 2 are always their attack skills, and their third one will be the buff skill that doesn't require a target to use. She's just a unique lady here. I don't really want to turn in these. I don't think the rewards are good enough, so I'm just going to cancel the cart. If I remember correctly, it's just like 1 eidolon crystal or a fortification scroll. And needless to say, I don't think we need fortification scrolls. They are so much more generous with fortification scrolls than they used to be, and they also fill up your fragments now too, so it's a lot easier for new players to fortify their equipment. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna bother. Unless they've changed them at some point, and I just always thought they were pointless to turn in, and now they're actually good or something. I don't think so, though. Can you imagine if there was actually something good? Oh yeah, my tier figurines! They're not great, but I think they're cute. I was wondering whether or not I should try adjusting the color on the second one since it's a different blue. And I also had this beautiful little tier sticker that I stuck on my coffee mug, and you can kind of see it on the table there too. One of the Discord users made that for me this week. whether they were lying to just make me happy or something, but someone was telling me that right now Tyr makes a really good choice for a physical element eidolon, because he doesn't actually really have lightning support built into his kit. He's just got a lot of defense reduction. Like, he's really good at debuffing. So when you're looking at eidolons to choose for physical, he's a good choice. I do not! Come on! I am perfectly 100% normal about Tyr. Having figurines of your favorite characters is perfectly normal. If there were actual real figurines that you could buy of Tyr, I'd probably have one, yeah. Oh, you are! So there are people that actually are doing it. I thought my friend might have just been messing with me because they knew that Tyr was my favorite. But I mean, why wouldn't you want to use Tyr anyway? I mean, as a side benefit, he's also really easy to farm, you know? He spawns in the S5 dungeons, which... I mean, obviously I'm not going to be able to solo them on this character anytime soon. You know, it varies whether or not they're going to make a 4-star version of, or a 3-star costume version of them. Because, like, if you take a look at the list, you'll find that Tsukuyomi is a lot newer, but she has a 3-star form. So it's not like they just stopped making them entirely, but... Who else has got a good 3-star form? Ayako, actually. I actually really like her 3-star form with the hood. I don't... Can I pull it up here? I think I should be able to. Did I capitalize it? Did I find it properly? Hey, there you go. Yeah, I think that Ayako's 3-star form is really, really cute. Especially with the way that her skirt's got the holograph in the inside. But yeah. You know, I saw someone a really long time ago on the Japanese website had posted a concept for Tyr in a tuxedo as a costume, and it would basically make my life if they made that a reality. But anyway, yeah, there's Tsukuyomi's got a 3-star form, so there are some newer eidolons that have it. But they did kind of pivot over to doing seasonal variants rather than extra costumes. Oh, I teleported to the wrong place. There we go. Oh, I messed up my windows again. Well, I don't know if it was just like a contest for designing a form or something. I do read some Japanese. I studied it in university, but it was so long ago and I went back to look and I couldn't find it anymore. But yeah, I think they did like a lot of like art contests on the Japanese server. I actually tried playing there with a VPN, but I don't have a lot of confidence in speaking to other players in Japanese, especially like slang, because I was taught really formally like business Japanese. So, not that I remember any of that anymore. But yeah, it's not exactly fun to play entirely alone on a foreign server. I mean, the new player experience is kind of what I'm here to explore, but my experience on the Japanese server was that they handled monetization really differently there as well. When I was playing, they had just added the Awakening key to the LP store. And yeah, they sold eidolon lucky packs in the LP store as well, but it was limited how many you could get per week, like quite strictly. I don't remember all the details. It was actually quite a while back now. Obviously, if they had just added the Awakening key to the LP store, that was quite a long time ago. But you know. They had all sorts of different stuff on the Japanese server, right? Like they had some crossover anime costumes as well. But licensing reasons, they can't just do that for every server. Okay, we should be heading to the dungeon pretty quickly here. Yes, there we go, that's the dungeon quest. I don't think we'll have any issue with hard mode. Solo challenge. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure the details of why the Japanese server, like who was running it and how they ended up being able to make more special deals and stuff, but it is what it is now. You know, they actually have like mock-ups of costumes from other games. Whoop. Oh, a free bead. Anyway, what I was gonna say was that they, I remember because I was a game sage with the Game Ego as well, I had access to some folders of some assets. And one of the costumes, a really old one, was actually called Totori, like from Atelier Totori. The Magical Girl, I think it was called. Of course, watch me not be able to find it all here. This one! If you look up Atelier Totori, that's literally what her costume looks like, so they were being a little bit sly about some of it too. Hey, move speed buff, let's go! You know, I was today years old when I found out that in the S20 dungeon in Hell mode, you can skip over that section where there's no mobs because there's like a hidden teleporter along one of the branching paths in the second part, like between the first and second bosses. Like, I usually ran with the same person and we were just running. And then I ran with someone else for the first time today, and they just teleported right to the second boss. It's like, what the heck, man? I thought it was weird that they had a whole section with no boss, with no enemies or anything there, so... Nice to know that there is a skip, even though I've been running it for a month without knowing. I used Kaziglig's own tooth against him. Like, do you see how many more fortification scrolls they're handing out here? Like, they are setting you up much better than they used to, for sure. I guess I can't hit them when they're that high up, huh? There we go. Ooh. Watch them actually nuke me from there. So some skills actually do have height restrictions. For example, on Warbow, you can't hit those guys with like a dimensional shot. But your hail of arrows, because it attacks from the sky, will hit them no problem. Oh wow, I actually didn't notice either. I really thought that that would take longer. I guess I lost the bet against myself, huh? But yeah, so after this we're gonna take a quick detour to run Otherworld Port Scandia, see if we can't get any spawns. And then we'll move on to Port Morton. Guess that means that I should be able to open the next set of armor, but I did fortify all my sniper set to +9, and I don't think I really need to upgrade to the next set until I need pen. So that's going to be Twilight Forest. And I think Twilight Forest is the next dungeon, but the next two maps don't have dungeons. Okay, so that's one map down. Alright, we're gonna take the detour now. Oh, age is not just a number. And I really don't think I'm the strongest. Okay, Otherworld Port Scandia. It makes it look like the zone is blocked off if it's your first time coming here, because if you run into that poison cloud, it's just going to turn you around. But you can just hop around over on the mountainside. Alright, and they do spawn in solo mode as well, but the quest can only be completed in hard mode, or in party mode, so I'm just gonna go ahead and run hell. So, tiny bunny hops, they're gonna drop secret stone energy, and that kind of applies for all of these. You'll be able to farm a lot of secret stone energy here. And in the higher level ones, you'll be able to farm the crystals that allow you to upgrade your secret stones. But mostly here, what we're worried about is every time you beat one of the big guys that you can see on your map, you have a chance of spawning an eidolon. I'm not entirely sure about what experience you're having in dungeons, so I'd say that it would probably have to do with just your gear setup. So for example, if you're at S level, you probably need to have gear that's got enough pen, especially if you're both new players. Oh, hey, look at that, we got an eidolon spawn. We got alias spawn. You can see he spawned on the map. In general, the device would depend on what level you're at. So, like, obviously I'm at level 80 in level 70 gear, so soloing a level 50 party zone isn't gonna be that challenging. But I don't think I'm gonna be soloing level 70 party maps, for example. Oh, but Issei, if you want to give me a little bit more information about what dungeons you're running and what classes you guys are, I might be able to help a little bit more than just saying get better gear, because that's terrible advice. It doesn't really give you much to work on, right? Oh, if you guys are both brand new, you might not actually know. One of the reasons why I'm doing okay in here is because I'm actually using a lifesteal sub-weapon. So if you go to any merchant, you can buy with the low quality weapons for them, or off of them pretty cheap, and they always get a random effect on them. So I picked Bard as my subclass because using healing skills actually buffs your damage, even if you're not using the healing. And then I bought them until I got a nocturnal one, which means that I'll be able to have a lot better sustain, especially if there are mobs around the bosses. You can absorb a lot of life off of them that'll help you stay alive. Alright, so it's looking like we're only gonna get... Oh! We did get another spawn. I didn't even see. So as you can see, if you're farming eidolons for like the newer, or the older eidolons, like the really old eidolons, you can get multiple spawns in here. Every time you kill one of those bunnies, you've got a chance of getting another one. And even in solo mode, you can spawn eidolons here. Hey, we got a fragment! There we go. So we got one fragment, and it probably would have been smart to pop a charm, but I don't have any handy. So we'll have to call that good. And the Temple of Eidolons isn't going to reset for another half an hour, so we'll just head back to town and move on to Port Morton. Okay, I may as well get this now. I think it's reading the eidolon energy I have in my bank here, so if it lets me turn this in... Yeah, I bet you it just stole energy out of my bank. Some of these quests, I believe it was the gathering dailies, they'll actually let you use items that are stored in your bank to turn in, like in your personal bank. I haven't done any gathering though, so I think I'll pass on accepting these today. But normally, if you want to take care of these kind of dailies, you can store a whole bunch of supplies in your bank, and then just easily turn them all in all at once. But it's basically just gathering up, I believe, 10 of specific items. If you're leveling up your gathering, it's pretty good. Just keep in mind you can't use those once you awaken. You have to do it before awakening. Very distracted. Let's go! Alright, and the Brilliant Beads coupon they just gave me. Special items, beads. You can see it costs 0 dragon points. It's just gonna take my coupon. And voila! I'm not gonna be using that anytime soon, but yeah. We're not going to be able to go to the Vault of Eternity until we unlock Sun Hunter's Veil. A lot of people will accept this quest and then get mad at the fact that it says there's no paths. I do think they could have done it a little bit better. Maybe trigger when you enter the map instead of when you get to level 80, because the curve has changed quite a bit, so... And she's gonna bother me every time I change maps now. No wonder people hate that quest so much. And since we're here, doesn't really matter which one you talk to, but if you look at your token to item exchange, these ancient eidolon fragments can be used to craft keys. There are eidolon keys for 4 certain eidolons. You do need 30 per fragment, so that's 300 tokens per fragment, meaning that once you get 3,000 of these tokens, you can get a free eidolon key. I mean, not free, it'll cost some G too, but... Okay, so Unexpected News is the quest where you go and you, spoiler, lose the Pope. And Urgent Orders is Port Morton, so let's go for Urgent Orders. Alright. Where's my coffee? Oh, yeah, that's annoying. I get it. That is very annoying. You have to keep it. You can't turn it in. Oh, up. You know, you basically don't even have to do anything at Blizzardsburg and Vulture's Veil anymore because they hand you over tokens that you can use in the new player boxes. And I kind of like it because, I mean, the point is for you to use them on your, what do you call them, masteries, but it's kind of nice, just 2 free maps, done. But if you're leveling your guild, like if you're working on building up a guild, the Vulture's Veil and Blizzardsburg are the best way to get guild points. As you can see, I've done a lot of hard work for my guild. When we need 6,000, I've contributed 94. Let's see. I'm gonna bet half an hour for this map. Oh, I can use another move speed buff. Well, tokens are easy to farm because all you have to do is, what do you call it? You just get them by completing quests, right? So, like, as you can see, if you're paying attention, the quest rewards, basically every single quest has tokens as a reward. And so, if you do in the guild leveling up there in Blizzardburg and Vulture's Vale, you're also just going to end up with a bunch of tokens that'll help you get eidolons as well, but, you know. If you're focusing on leveling up, it's not really the way to go. Ooh, I'm not getting even close to one-shotting these guys anymore. Me, I'm probably capped out on tokens on my main account because I've been doing dailies every day. So once you are capped out on tokens, you can use alchemy to turn them into LP. But I think you have to level up alchemy before you can actually get that recipe. Other than archaeology, well, I mean, he is in one of the, at least one of the temple modes, but if you would like Abraxas and you don't want to do archaeology, he should be in here somewhere, right? Abraxas. 25k. Elbolio? I think not. Elbiolo. You know, for the longest time, I called him Elbolio because I didn't read it carefully enough, and so now my head reads it wrong. Also, Nullany, the Abyss of Light eidolon. Forever I was calling her Nunnally, and I did not notice. Sometimes I just feel a little dyslexic. Yeah, if you're gonna farm Abraxas, I'd say maybe try archaeology first. Your LP is much better spent on other things. Maybe like if you have one fragment to go and you just really want to get him. You know, another thing you can do is use vouchers. I mean, obviously the starter eidolons don't have vouchers, but so if you happen to have some vouchers from opening eidolon eggs and you've got nothing better to spend them on, it's really not a ton for some of the older eidolons. I mean, I wouldn't recommend spending 500 to get 10 fragments that way, but if you're just one short, and you have nothing better to spend your vouchers on, I mean, it's bad advice, obviously, but it takes so long to build up enough vouchers to buy anything good. Yeah, I mean, the majority of the stuff in the LP store is accessible somewhere in game, right? Majority. There's some stuff that isn't. Maybe I should say excluding costumes, but... I think the, offhand, let's see, eidolons. Hades isn't available anywhere in-game, but like... Oh no, Hades has a gossip. So basically all of the eidolons in the LP store have a way to farm them in-game. Just may not be accessible for newer players. Whether that's really late dungeons or what. Cutscene. Skip! I didn't think you were able to skip them before watching them before, but I guess they allow you now. Oh man, I had a friend that just came back to the game after a really long time, and they were at like 9 of 10. Oh, Lord N, thank you! It's nice to see you! To be honest, I was shocked Scrub was available too. But yeah, I had a friend come back to the game after a really long time, and they were short like 1 fragment on 3-starring Tigurius Caesar. And I was really not thinking very carefully, and I recommended that they use their vouchers for it because they had vouchers they weren't doing anything with. Only to remember that Tigurius Caesar is one of the ones that you can get with the tokens. Hello, Nefest. Alright, let's see. I was betting half an hour on this map, but I think we're going to be faster than that. Kind of got 2 sections left, the woods and the ruins. Again, I'm not going to turn that in, so I don't want it following me for half an hour. Hello, Fumi. I mean, I've been around. Are those monkeys? I mean, I guess they are. They eat bananas. Down here. Look at them. They litter. Littering is unacceptable. I'm not exactly role-playing, I just really like coffee and that's my normal state. Speaking of coffee, I haven't had any in a while. I'm glad they made it so that you can get the transmog for those little guys inside the game, right? Like, not putting it on Paragon, you can just farm for it with the commemorative coins. I might do that a little bit off stream. See if I can't farm myself some transmog for the little monkey guy. As usual, Flame Slash makes all the quests easy. I actually don't know how the spin thing works. I've seen people doing it and I never found out how it works. There's also if you use one of those prism crystals, one of the ones that turns you into a jelly bird, people were doing that thing where they started just like wiggling or dancing or whatever, and I could never figure out how to get that to work. Prism crystals, where the only description was, hope you enjoy being a god. Oh, over here we should probably clean this out. This is the first dimension hall that you can't do alone, so I won't be able to complete it here. Okay, interesting. Oh. Alright, let's see what we get. Alright, this is the last quest of this map, so it was about 25 minutes? I know this one takes a little bit of time. Honestly, it's really not that much longer on this character compared to my main account. Oh yeah, yeah. The rules that I put in place are in the description of the video, I believe. But basically, we have no, I'm not gonna say no dying because I am the one that challenged Harmonia earlier, with full well knowing that I would never be able to do any damage. But I can't accept any kind of benefits from my main account. I'm not allowed to accept any benefits from my friends. And the only thing I'm allowed to accept in the mail from people is murky mochas, because as you can see from my desk, I'm a coffee fan. Everything else I have to get on my own, or find my own parties, or make my own deals with people. And the objective is to get through Awakening without using the LP keys, because you can actually pass... basically get to level 101 without using any of the benefits that I would have from being an old school player, to see whether or not new players can conceivably, comfortably get that far in the game without suffering. And I picked a middle of the lane kind of class. So I'm not like completely yeah, I just wanted to get an idea of what kind of advice new players actually really need. For example, one of the things I figured out while we're doing this is that you get a set of armor that levels up with you to 75. But the advice that all new players get is that you want to have your speed capped at 50%. And I found that when you're using that gear that levels up with you, it's impossible to get to 50% speed. So that was a... because you tell people, oh, you get a good set of gear that you can use that'll help you right up until level 75. But then you're telling them that they have to try and cap their speed, and they just can't do it in that gear because the gear doesn't have any. So once I finish this run, my objective is to take all of the new things that I've learned and put together a brand new guide for new players to help them in ways that are actually going to help them and not just be the same advice we've been giving people for the last 5 years. Because I was actually ridiculously shocked to see how hard it is to get your speed up. But yeah, you get a set of sniper armor, which was my favorite set back in the day. And it does have speed on it. Once I switched to that, I was able to get my speed up to 50%, which is really nice. Gosh, it is so much nicer on rotations when you've got 50% speed. Yeah, Nocturnal Weapon is definitely one of the first things that I did. And I also, as a Bard sub, I picked one that has move speed built into it so that I could get both move speed and Nocturnal. Which is a great combination, even if it's not adding to my DPS. The problem is going to be when I need to get Pen. It's going to be really hard to keep using this current weapon once I need Pen, because I'll need something high enough level to put a Pen card on. I don't think the new pack that X Legend added has level 90 armor, although I can check now. Hold on, where is it? Gaia Warrior, Gaia Fighter. Oh, I can only open up one level. There we go. Ruin my inventory. Yeah, so this is the pack that X Legend added. It doesn't have level 90 armor in it. So you won't get it there. Oh, BG, my inventory. But in the Envoy support cube that every player gets once per account, you do have a level 90 equipment box. However, if you don't have that anymore, you actually get a random piece of level 90 equipment when you beat dungeons at the high levels. Kind of like how I got, where is it? This one, this level 70 refined box. They don't have cores in them, so they don't have an effect on them. But that's the same as the one that you got from the Envoy queue. So if you're getting to late game and you don't have the recipes for the level 90 gear, you can always build a set by just running dungeons and opening up these packs. And since I got a second sniper one, I may as well star my armor. But yeah, the X Legend box that every character gets does not include a level 90 armor set. So if you've lost your Envoy cube, you're just gonna have to farm for it a little bit. It's true. I do recommend Alina and, what's her face? Merrily as good starter eidolons in general, especially since Merrily, in my opinion, has the move speed stars, which make her really comfortable to use even later in game when you just want to have an eidolon to swap in when you're running, like when you're running between things. So honestly, I think Merrily is one of the top choices for a starter eidolon. Ooh, accessory. Farming enough PvP tokens to be able to buy the PvP stuff kind of hurts, though. Well, keep that in mind, though. That's an interesting tip. And I've said it a lot of times, but I really do think that the hardest thing is going to be getting enough pen. That was my experience when I was doing my first awakening. Hey Fumi, if you're looking for a specific guide for like an envoy for any class in general, I would recommend going to the official Discord. I'm a moderator there, so I'll be there too. This morning they were actually discussing the envoys for the Stellar Sphere. I haven't personally put out any guides on specific classes because I'm a bit of a class hopper. So I'm not very good at min-maxing or memorizing rotations for all 20 classes. Although I gotta say, it's for the Stellar Sphere, my favorite thing to do is using Star Patrol 3 times on the, I think it's the left envoy path, or the left weapon mastery path. I absolutely love just spamming that skill, it's amazing. Alright, let's get that cart out of here. No carts. I know you can, it's a long quest. And I actually like that they buffed the drops for Subterranean Ruins in Star Sand. Because in the past you might do it and get basically next to nothing. Yeah, the PvP tokens can be from Fight Club in Navia, but we don't talk about Fight Club after all, so we won't speak about that anymore. And then that's where you get the ones for the armor, and if you want a PvP weapon, you do Subterranean Ruins. I was trying to work on building my guns on my main class, or on my main account for PvP. But just timing-wise, it's hard to get into the PvP modes. Hey, hold on a minute. I know people have said it before that you can just AFK inside the Subterranean Ruins, but I never really figured out what they meant by that. Hey, why would I make a Reaper? On my main account, I've got all 20 classes awakened, so I won't be doing any farming on multiple accounts or multiple characters for that kind of thing. Maybe I should try it on stream, that way you can tell me what I'm doing wrong when the AFK doesn't work. Oh, I forgot to estimate how long this map would take me at the beginning. So, the cubes in the Subterranean Ruins, they do die. So is it just that if you leave them alone, they coincidentally all respawn at the same time or something? I mean, it's not that much of a pain to actually do it. It's just if you... normally when I'm playing, I want to be gaining experience, and PvP scares me, so... Yeah, my heart rate spikes when I do PvP, so... Ah, respawning. Well, I guess I could do that. Maybe AFKing a dungeon isn't the best kind of content for a stream, so I'll check it out later. But thank you for letting me know, because I've heard people talk about it before, but I just look at it and I see the cube die and then I get antsy and then I then I fight it again. Alright, so I was severely underestimating how long things would take. My heart rate doesn't spike from drinking coffee, my heart rate spikes from the PvP. Oh, I've got a gear set on my guns now, it's just yeah, I did manage to get a full set of PvP gear for my guns. For the most part now, it's just finding the right time to match up with the PvP rounds. The last time I did PvP was a couple weeks ago, and it was mostly new players, and then I felt bad because I was like, not one-shotting everyone, but it did seem like I was picking on people. And that's not fun for them either, because I know what it feels like to be on the other side of that. Oh gosh, yeah, I know. I think it's worse when I feel like I might have a chance to win and I'm just playing badly because my heart rate goes up. It's the same thing when I play like rhythm games. If you've got a full combo, you're doing just fine, and then you notice you've got a full combo and it's like, oh, I can't lose it now. And then your heart rate spikes and you get too nervous and you lose it. Yeah, but it's like really low level PvP stuff. I think it's like level 70. Hey look, an alchemist named Elric. I wonder what that's a reference to. Alright, and that's the end of this map. I remember what it's like to be weak, so I'm an ally of weak people. And of course, I am currently being weak, so rise up, weak people. Alright, we're just gonna skip this extremely plot-heavy cutscene. Level 70 PvP, huh? Is that even split now? Like, do they even give you the opportunity to play PvP in a lower bracket? I thought they just kind of mixed it all together now, so if you're level 70 and you join PvP, it's just like... good luck. Okay, so originally I was gonna say that I thought we'd get through 4 maps today, but those ones were exceedingly short. So... You don't spend a lot of time at level 70 anymore. Like, as you can see, I didn't spend any time at level 70. So I guess we get to send Belinus to, Wrathborn Temple now. That should be next. Unexpected news. Alright. Harvey's weapon is going to be in my bank account or something. Here's where we get to remake the cutscene from the start of the game. And get a costume weapon. So, if you sold off your Harvey weapon, you can pick up a new one from this guy over here. Kular. He sells all of them. 10 silver. It's very, very cheap. But I, of course, kept my original because I hoarded it up. But you actually have to have it equipped for this quest. Alright, Infernal Abyss. Now, my problem with this quest is that every single time I've done it, I have always forgotten to use the item on the right floor. Well, not every single time. I reminded myself 4 times before I entered it in on the, when I was doing Stellar Saphir, and I think I got it first try. So my new policy, in order to avoid missing it, is click it on every single floor, and then I can't possibly miss it on the right floor. And if we're lucky, we'll get some Zahir fragments as well. The whip costume you get isn't really that fancy here either. But yeah, I think there should be more whip costumes. The reason why I'm using Ravager is because I wanted to pick a class that wasn't like super top of the line, but at the same time I didn't want to pick one that was absolute bottom of the line. And I thought that the, don't mind the angle there for a second. I thought that the fire bounce on Flame Slash would be really helpful for clearing up mobs fast. Like, look how many times it bounces. That is perfect for gathering up all the mobs in dungeons. Well, I suppose we should spawn Shirayuki back. Hey, it's not that I forget to use it because I forget how many mobs it's supposed to be. I forget to use it because I'm just in the zone of running dungeons, right? That's all it is. It's not that I like... I mean, it's not like it pops up a little box in the middle of your screen being like, hey, maybe you should use your little energy storage orb right now. Oh, speaking of things that are good about Ravager, I can use another one of these. Oh, and I should pop on another proof of mission. But yeah, I think Ravager is a really comfortable class to use, even if it doesn't have all the benefits that, like, some of the super OP ones have. Weakling? I should be using that as my title. Actually, yeah, we're gonna use that as our title. Show earned. Weakling. Perfect. I know it's 5 floors. I've only done this at least 20 times. It's kind of like in Silent Ancient Castle, you can't, it's the one place where you cannot complete the quest in a solo challenge mode. For some reason. They don't let you complete Silent Ancient Castle's main questline in the solo challenge mode, and every other dungeon does. And I don't know how many times I've just gone into solo challenge, not even thinking about it. Alright, this is the 10th floor, so we're halfway there. Oop. And I think we should just keep going until I can't beat it anymore. I don't think my move speed is as bad as it way back in the day, because I remember way back in the day it was just impossible to make it because your move speed was so low. And yes, we're aiming for the 20th hole. Not gonna forget. It's kind of weird that this dungeon is basically both a DPS and a move speed check. Yeah, it's a solo mode, so I don't think it would necessarily be that much of a problem beating it. I am kind of tempted to try party mode though. I mean, we need Zahir, right? Alright, focus. Focus. Mid-tier for midday, am I right? You know, being low move speed and killing slowly are both problems that I have to face on this account. Alright, we're almost there. 2 more. We're on the 18th now, so just 2 more rooms. You know, it's a shame that chat is behind, because I do have a bit more delay than most people would think would be good. Because I can see that you're warning me, but you're saying 17 when I've just made it. Luckily, by spending the entire time talking about it, I didn't miss it. Yay! But yeah, let's keep going and see how far we make it. Yeah, I think those nukes will probably get me. Yes, we did it without a problem. Thank you, Hansine. Yeah, after this we have to go to Nasrudin. You know, I'd be tempted to make a Zahir weapon, just because I know that you got the benefit of doing extra damage to ice targets. And it might be really fun to absolutely nuke the heck out of Nasrudin's dungeon. But I think it would take too long to actually farm up the supplies for that. Plus I think it's like, what, 150 gold? Alright, this is 75, so this is halfway. It's probably not worth it. I'm gonna need a weapon that's got pen on it. And my gold isn't exactly overflowing at this point. So a weapon just for the purpose of bullying Nasrudin isn't really worth it. Actually, what kind of what do you need to get it through here? Oh, I love Guild Barrage! It reminds me of Nico Nico Doga. Makes me feel special. Every day's a stream. That's not bad. That's actually really, really good. That would be 500 fire crystals and 3,000 dragon points. That's... I mean, you don't get the achievement, but that's completely viable. Not that I want to farm 500 fire or scarlet crystals at this point. Yeah, my current plan is that I'm going to actually get the 95 gold weapon. They give you Sky Tower tokens inside the presents that they give you as you level up. So I'm gonna get this guy. Because it's got 12 pen on it. And I think that'll be a good choice. I mean, for some classes, the gold weapons can be better or worse depending what path. And that one is specifically a Whirlwind Slash one. But I'm thinking that on the last boss of Awakening, it'll be handy to have a buff on Whirlwind Slash because you'll still be able to be mid-Whirlwind Slash when they deactivate your skills. So you can keep healing up. I don't think I've got guild chat turned off. In my general, I've kind of just got everything except world and trade. But I like Guild Barrage because, like I said, it reminds me of Nico Nico Doga, which I used to watch a lot in university. Okay, we've got plenty of time. I seem to remember this being such a challenge in that it would take so long to get through. But I guess with the Godly Paste Flash and the Swifty Stars, we're not doing so hot bad. Yeah, this is 8th hall, so we've got 2 more halls after I beat this one. Alright. I'm pretty sure I need to avoid those at all costs at this point. Yeah, that last one took a little over 2 minutes, so I think we should be okay. Because all you need to do is get to the last room before your timer's up. And I don't feel like the difficulty will scale that much in the next 2 floors. But I remember the first time when I was playing this dungeon, we had one person wait at the start, and right after we beat the first boss, they would reuse the flame brand so that it would reset the timer, and it was just that 1 extra minute was worth it for us because we couldn't make it to the end. Probably build up ballad stacks. I'm not doing as much damage here. have targeted the pile of flame instead of the mob. Alright. Oh, wow, that was a lot of damage all at once. Yeah! I think we're okay. Okay. Okay, those guys are the ones that have reflect, that's right. Oh, it's been a while. So when those guys activate, the big spinny thing, they have reflect damage active. Fortunately, it looks like I actually did beat them when they killed me, so it put me on the next floor. Okay, here we go. Last boss. Oh, there we go. I didn't think I'd be able to do that so easily. The problem with Nazrudan's dungeon is that every time you die, it actually debuffs you. So once you've gotten 5 deaths, your stats are 50% down. So anyway, I think I need to focus here. There we go. Ta-da! Did I get any fragments in all of that? 4! I got 4. Okay, so on my on an off-stream day, maybe I'll go through there again. You could probably get Zahir pretty easily. If I do get him, I'll save the unlocking the key until we're back together. Let's see, that took 16 minutes. I think Whip is a really good class. When Cap was 25, Bow and Whip were the only 2 classes I had at Cap. But the way that you can really control the Blood Whip release on it, so you can kind of gear your maximum DPS time to fit really well with when you actually need it, makes Whip a really nice class. Main problem I have with Bow is that when you're waiting for bosses to spawn, or when people are nuking all the mobs and you don't have any opportunity to build up your charge stacks, you basically don't have any of your class bonuses going into boss fights. That's why I think that Bow should get a buff. now we're off to the Whirlpool Abyss. I really don't like Whirlpool Abyss, and the reason for that is because those bomb mobs that spawn when you're on the last wave, if you do anything to avoid taking the damage from them, they just don't vanish. Oh, sure, Bo may be getting a buff, but they don't have it yet. And I'm currently leveling up my bow to S30, so I kind of wish I had it now. Good. Maybe they'll speed it up and give it to us next week. Can you imagine just be like running around in Genshin with a charged shot loaded up at all times? Oh, I brought the unbicycle cube with me. At least this dungeon doesn't have a move speed check like Infernal Abyss does. And we'll clean up these achievements too. I really do like the charge mechanic on archers though. I just wish that it had way more benefit. Because I think one of the main issues right now is that they keep adding bosses with effects like you need to attack them or get 300 hits in before they'll even take any damage. So I'm thinking like Savior at the end of the S20 dungeon, or what's his face, the third boss of the S15. Having the game in... Oh, you must be bilingual then. But yeah, so like, there needs to be a bigger benefit to using the charges, because right now, Warbow is uniquely weak because it doesn't have the same ability to like mass hit. Like on Whip, you can use the Blood Whip. And on top of it attacking like several times per second, every one of those hits can then trigger the like the double damage or the triple hit procs, right? But I still really like Warbow. You can't convince me not to like Warbow. Alright, well now that we've gotten this far, we don't actually have to go any further, but let's just see what happens. I think I'll run out if I die once, because in this dungeon, every death is a 10% debuff. Oh, nice! You got the the original server. You get everything first, and then we get to pick apart your data so we know how to prepare for things. I used to say that whip sounded like spaghetti being thrown against the wall, but now they've made it so loud that it's hard to listen to, I'll be honest. The whip sound effect is really loud. My flame axe is bouncing off of the tornadoes. Alright, so time-wise we're doing fine. I'm just concerned about those bombs. You know, as far as the changes between the patches go, it's hard to say. Oh, we're like more than a year behind originally, but then they kind of rushed us ahead. So like, we got the nunchuck class in August, or sorry, was it August? Yeah, I think it was August. And then the Stellar Saphir was dropped in September. I think those were about a year apart on the Taiwan server, so they've just been kind of accelerating the pace. Like, when we got the nunchuck class, I thought, oh good, I don't have to do another marathon 11-hour stream for a year. And then it was like a month later we got the Stellar Spear. Ooh. Oh, and I think they combined some of the buffs for the other classes. Like, I think they sped up the release of the buffs on the classes that they just released in September. Because based on the way I read it, the buff for Wizard, which was the one that I actually read the most about, was 2 different buffs combined into one. Yeah, the English server is now under X Legend, and I think they're trying to accelerate it so that they're closer together. Previously under Gamigo, there were some differences though, like some pretty significant differences. Like the Nightmare Dungeons, I don't know what you guys had them called, but the Nightmare Dungeons were added as permanent features on our server originally, and then they got removed again with X Legend because I guess they didn't really want to maintain them as separate stuff. Like they didn't want to do 2 different paths of it. And I found that, especially when they were trying to accelerate things, some stuff just wouldn't work. Like, if you tried to use eidolons that were released... like on Nunchuck, there were some eidolons that I think were released after the Nunchuck... or before the Nunchuck release, that should have been after. So, we got the new eidolons, but we didn't have the class yet, which meant that when they added the class, if you used that eidolon on that class, it was just an instant crash. So by getting everything on par, we'll see a lot less weird bugs like that. As far as I know, that one in particular was fixed. We're going to Demarec Mines. There we go. And the other difference, I think a big one, would be that on the Taiwan server, I don't believe you guys got the Envoy Support Cube, which is where we got free Shirayuki Key. And stuff every 10 levels up to, I think, S10? I think it was up to S10. Alright. Now we get our costume. I think I'm gonna need that accuracy. We're gonna get more flying axes soon. There's my coffee. Honestly, I'd say you're probably better off playing on the Taiwan server because there's more stuff. Obviously, they're later along. And if you've already got the bow buff, then obviously it's the better server because bow is my favorite class and it deserves better. The translation gets a little weird in the later levels too. But Aura Kingdom 2 was the mobile game that they released. And yeah, X-Legend made it, so I think they were just reusing a lot of the character art and stuff, which is amazing because they put so much effort into all of the eidolons and stuff. So, I mean, I got nothing against them for reusing it. But I tried it, but it really felt like not much of an MMO. Like, mobile MMOs just have a different flavor, you know? Oh. I kind of wish I had gotten an accuracy on this. Oh well. But yeah, Aura Kingdom 2 was just a mobile game, so it doesn't quite have the same depth as this one does. Plus, I don't know if you could even get a bunny using a mallet to hammer a bunny-shaped mochi on your head in Aura Kingdom 2. Alrighty, now this is the really heavy plot cutscene where we kind of close out the first arc. But if it lets me, I'm just gonna skip it. We've got 20 minutes. So, I think... do we start the next map, or do we, Oh, it's past 6 o'clock, too, so we can go back to the Temple of Eidolons. Now, I'm Canadian, so the prices are in US dollars, which means that right off the bat, my dollars aren't worth as much. So the price for the premium currency is about $1 to 100 US. Let's see what kind of stuff. So, for example, this is about a little over $3, depending on whether or not you're using American dollars. The boost card that can get you to level 85 right away, it's about $20. Personally, I don't have a... I know, right? I don't know if anyone here hasn't seen Canadian money, but it's like plastic and very colorful. And also, if you have any Canadian money handy, hold it up to your face and look through the little maple leaf at a point light. So like if you've got a flashlight on your phone, you can look at that. And around the light, you'll see like floating numbers. It's actually really cool, but it does look very silly. Yeah, the Canadian economy, not exactly something I want to get into right now, but needless to say, I'd probably be looking at like $30 to buy a boost card, so nah. He gets a hit on me before I can even attack. That's not fair. Ah. Alright, now Belinus gets to guard the gate, and we get to go meet Ima! After Vaughn kills all the dragons. You know, I really only played Aura Kingdom 2 for a couple of hours. It just didn't feel very feature complete, I want to say. It definitely felt like a mobile game over an MMO. Like, I think that's the one that they released a version on Steam that you could play, but it wasn't like a full proper MMO. Oh, cutscene. It takes a second for it to load in. But you know, a lot of people played Aura Kingdom back in the day, right? Like, there's a ton of people that have a lot of memories of having played this game at some point. And there's really not a ton of big anime MMOs out there. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's been kicking around so long. Oh, let's just skip this demon attack, shall we? Okay, so with 20 minutes to go today... Yeah, the Steam was just like a port of the mobile game, not like an improvement on it. Just gonna quickly head over here so we can get that Temple of Gaia. I need those LP. I know that I really need to use my LP on an eidolon, but every day I'm tempted by cute costumes. So the only thing I can do is keep building it. Oh, we've unlocked more of these too now. Yeah, so this one you can run 4 times a day. If you come back. Yeah, I actually started playing this game back in the start of the open beta. So I too have a long history with it. I remember when you weren't high enough level to even get to the Crescent Hill dungeon after finishing the quests in Crescent Hill. Oh, that's a shame. I wanted Kotonoha. It's funny though, because I actually considered buying a like a founder's pack, like so you could play the closed beta. I was in university at the time, I believe. Yeah, so money was a little bit tight, and I thought, I feel like I'd like this game. And then I talked myself out of it because I was like, no reason I'm going to be playing it for that long. And here I am, nearly a decade later. As soon as I can beat both modes of this, I'm going to use this premium treasure charm and pray for eidolon fragments. But the last time I tried this, I was getting one shot in the last room by Nazrudin, so I don't know that I'm even going to be able to get through this. I suppose I should have taken one of the buffs. Honestly, if I had to say about what drew me to the game, it was the art style. And I still do like it to this day, although I know they really revamped the vibe of the characters for Order Kingdom 2. It definitely looked a lot more modern. But there's still some charm here. As for the old times, I remember before fishing was a profession, and I had already fished up... Yeah, team gunshot. Yeah, I had already fished up all of my, all of the starter fish kings, right up until 60. And then they added fishing as a profession, so it's like, well, now I've got to recatch everything for my profession. Oh, and I think we can do this. Or not. In late game, there's a lot more people than where I am so far. That's for sure. The servers are still kicking around, and we get people in the Discord all the time asking about how to recover their old accounts, so... A lot of people have been feeling a little bit nostalgic for Order Kingdom. Am I allowed to take credit for that? Oh, maybe not. I don't think this is gonna happen, but we'll give it one more shot. But yeah, with the new... Whoop, whoa, that's close. With the new classes being added really quickly, the cap being increased, the new maps... Whoop, there we go. Nothing good for it. I'm just gonna add in that I'm actually a moderator on the official server, so I don't really allow a lot of chat about the PS or TOE. But I've been a moderator for Order Kingdom since 2020. I actually started as the moderator in January 2020, so we saw a huge spike in player population around that point, due to everybody having to stay inside. That was a time. Oh, where's my Shiryuki? Why am I not? Ugh. You know. What happened to Phantasy Star Online? I never played it, but I've heard of that game. What happened? Ugh. Oh, that's gonna be tough. I think I'm gonna pass on trying to beat this. I hate to, but that guy's just, you can't avoid that. So if it one-shots you, there's not really much you can do about it. Okay, 10 minutes. A Dragonical. You know, I did see the advertisements for Dragonical, but... Oh. They probably had to make a big change because they wanted to attract people with something vibrant and new, but kind of sucks if you're really enjoying what was there before. I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, I'm sure watching me clean my inventory is riveting content here, but... Oh, shoot, I needed that, didn't I? Yeah. Dragonical. You know, on some of their new titles, X Legend was trying to kind of get into blockchain stuff. And I thought that Dragonical might have been one of the ones where they were doing that, but don't take my word for it because I didn't really look into it. You can only play so many MMO type games at once. And I already work like a really intensive job, so it's really hard to play a bunch of games at once. Oh, geez, scales to top players? Dragonical is not playable at all. If you quit for a while, since the server scales to the top players. Wow. As for Phantasy Star appealing to Japanese players, I'm not sure culturally how acceptable it is, like, to pay money for advantages in games in Japan. My experience is that I don't have a lot of free money, especially since I pay for a mortgage. So my video game spending is limited to, like, at max $15 a month. And that's maximum across all video games. So any game that's got a higher bar than that for it to actually be worth spending for me is like, meh. You know, the other anime-style MMO game that everyone's talking about now is Blue Protocol, of course. And I did sneak into the... well, I'm not going to say sneak, because I followed all the proper procedures. I got into the official server for the Amazon affiliates program for Blue Protocol. Obviously, I'm no one special, and it's just something that anyone can do if they apply for it properly. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that to see if I can get access to it any early. Because I am a fan of anime MMOs, and I know that a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about it. But I didn't access the Japanese game, because it's already out in Japan, right? As for Dragonical, oh, that's a shame. I mean, I get the idea of scaling the game to endgame players, but that really makes it hard for anyone to start. Like, in Aura Kingdom, they've done the opposite, right? They've made it so that new players have way less stuff that they have to get through to be able to get to endgame. I'd really hate it if I had to, like, play on a warbow in Aura Kingdom and try and do the same thing that people do on, like, Whip, even. Wow. Alright, well that's 84. And we do have less than 10 minutes left, so do we want to see how badly Karis can make us suffer? I didn't even see how much damage that was. Ooh, 4 digits! That's better than I did against the other one. It's better than Harmonia. Ooh. Okay, let's get out of there before she takes me. Now, if you're playing, you've got a chance of getting you've actually got a chance of getting Harmonia fragments if you beat Harmonia. She'll send you a package in the mail after you beat her, and you've got a chance of getting fragments there. But for Karis, I think she sends you stuff in the mail too, but it's nothing good. There. Yeah, she'll send you a mail box or a mail present, but... Well, Harmarnia was level 110. She's only level 99, right? What's the good classes? Stellar Saphir is really, really good. It's got tons of buffing capabilities, as well as, it's fun. It's a lot of fun to play. Honestly, the way that it works, you've got so many ways to have detail damage and stuff on the Stellar Saphir, so that's the freshest one on our server. Someone's been telling me it's the era of the Wizard now, because Wizard just got buffed significantly, and it's extremely strong. Nunchuck, I did find it to be strong when I was leveling it up, but the main drawback of playing the Nunchuck is that it's like the child boy body type, and there's barely any costumes for it, which sounds like a non-issue considering costumes are cosmetic, but it's just not fun to play if you can't look cool sometimes. We actually haven't got those yet. The last Grenadier and Guardian buffs we got were in the past, so I haven't actually seen them in action on the more recent buff that you guys got. I did hear that they have unlocked all body types for those two classes, so I assume that was when the buff was included? I saw the art when they unlocked it for the girl body type and the young boy body type, which is super cute. But I heard that the Guardian kind of got nerfed in a little bit. I only vaguely remember it offhand right now. But I remember someone saying that the Guardian kind of got a bit nerfed. I know I said that I'd stop at 3 hours, but it seems like a bad spot to stop. I do need to have dinner though. Guardian was too strong? Oh, that's not my experience with my Guardian. Although I did my awakening on Guardian a really long time ago, it still took me like 3 hours. Yeah, I'm hungry, so I'll have to stop for dinner pretty quick here. But I really appreciate you guys coming out to join me for my adventure into the land of playing a character that doesn't have a lot of benefits on it. I have a completely fresh account. I suppose I have to disclose that someone actually gave me the glasses free. I was trying to buy them and someone just mailed them to me because they're not very expensive, so that was nice. But yeah, so that's I think that'll be it for today. So thanks for joining me, and I hope to catch you guys next time. Okay, I see that chat that says Warbow's the most broken class in the game, and if you mean broken as in it is broken and needs to be fixed, you're correct. That's about the only way that it's broken right now. But anyway, that is going to be it for today because I require dinner. And yeah, that's it then. Thank you very much.